What's up, everybody? Welcome to another comedy show with my guy Kyle and BlackJack. Man, now I'm messing with you, but another NBA show from SBR. Make sure you guys go to sbrpicks.com/NBA. Check out all the articles, the NBA content we have over there. I'm your host, Jay Money. That's my guy, BlackJack Fletcher. That's my guy, Kyle Purviance, aka DFS Bachelor. Got me over here crying, man, before the show, my guy. This guy got to be a comedian, Kyle. What's up with you, my guy? How was your day yesterday?
It was a fantastic day outside of PJ Tucker, and I'm waiting for the guy. There was a guy who was so eager to call me a dumbass yesterday before the show, but he's gone today. He's gone. He's quiet. There's crickets out there. We had a great night. Everything you guys hit, basically everything outside of PJ Tucker I said hit. So if they tailed us on the show yesterday, you guys are eating Chipotle. You might have ordered in some Applebee's. Life was good yesterday. I hope you guys had a great night as well.
What's up with you, Black Jizzle? Everything cool with you?
Fantastic, Jay. I think we can get this show wrapped up in about 60 seconds.
Oh,
this guy here. Well, we are going to go ahead and preview the Saturday game as well. So we got 3 games today, my guys. Obviously, we're gonna recap yesterday real quick, man. What's up with those Bucks, guys? I want to hear Kyle and BlackJack talk about. So we had like a '90s type of game yesterday, right?
yeah.
Like, I know new age people probably hate that basketball. I love it, man. 84 to 83, 86, 83 game, man. Oh, I'm like, oh, is it end of the third quarter or something? Or what? Oh, it's the game. Oh, all right, man. But yeah, it was a really tough game. Really, the Nets held to 11 points in the first quarter, only scoring a season low 83 points. BlackJack, what you think about that?
I think Milwaukee is screwed. The Bucks needed to do for 4 quarters what they did in the first quarter, and they didn't. I think they lose the next 2 games and the series over.
Exactly. I couldn't talk you off that, Kyle. What you think about that game, that Nets versus Bucks? What you think about Brook Lopez, my guy?
Yeah, Brook Lopez. I mean, we talked. He did get 11 rebounds, so I'll give him that. Finally, he gets double-digit rebounds in a game where he should have had 40 rebounds. We're talking about going up against Blake Griffin and Nicholas Claxton. That's who you got to rebound over, and you get 11 in a game that only had 86, 83. I mean, he should have had 40 rebounds, but he thinks he's like, Kiki Vandeweghe. He thinks he's, Kristaps. He thinks he's Dirk Nowitzki. Like, You're not. Just get under there, block shots, and rebound the damn ball against your own team. You have all this revenge narrative. I agree with BlackJack. Like, after the first quarter, I'm like, okay, this is what we thought. Milwaukee's going to come out. They're super talented. There's no way. And, Chris Middleton played lights out, and that was good for them. But Drew Holiday didn't show up. The rest of that team didn't show up. It was dicey. I mean, the whole city of Milwaukee had to be shitting their pants when Kevin Durant's taking that 3 with 2 seconds to go, because they knew if he makes that shot and it goes into overtime, it's over. Brooklyn's winning this game. But luckily for our bets, and you're right. It was a little last dance reminiscent, wasn't it? That 86-83 game, those Bulls-Utah final series. I enjoyed it. I had to turn it off late because I couldn't handle the stress. I'm a coward at heart. But damn, man, it was close, and I agree. Brooklyn's going to win this series. If that's the best you got in Game 3, down 2-0 in the biggest game of the year, then I just don't see how you have it to do it the rest of the series.
Exactly. Yeah, the books know it too. Obviously, you see the Nets open up at -2 for Game 4. So I mean, they gave the Bucks had to get their must-win game. It wasn't pretty, and they almost lost that one. Obviously, I mean, like you say, with if you're watching that one as a Bucks fan or even money line, you see KD hit that 3, them boys go up 3 late. I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, what the hell? I had to walk in another room. These boys took the lead. Boy, how trash are these Bucks, man? Giannis, little dribble. Okay, dribble. No, bro, you have nothing in your bag. You know how they be like, oh, Giannis in his bag. Not him. No, bro. I don't see no. I don't know, man. You too good of a player. Was Harden right? Like, all this guy could just do out there and run and jump. He doesn't have any skills. At some point, you got to work on your handles, man. You got to work on your shot. If I'm honest, I'm shooting 1,000 shots a day, man. It will get better. You just have to work on it, guys. Trust me. Some people are born with it. Other people get it out the gym. It's possible. You just got to. Practice makes perfect. But
Jay, with the lack of an interior defense for the Nets, why are you not attacking the basket over and over and over?
I mean, Blake Griffin, the defensive player of the year. Blake Griffin's defensive player of the year. That's why.
Yeah, what the hell?
I think it's what Kyle said yesterday. He's afraid to get fouled. Like, he doesn't want to go to the free throw line.
Yep, exactly.
Well, he can't make free throws.
No.
if I'm being Simmons or I'm Giannis, I don't want to get fouled either. Hell, I'm gonna go 0 for 2.
To me, it makes me freaking crazy. So these guys have been in the league a while, and they can do anything they want. How do you still suck at shooting? What the fuck is going on? What do you do? Do you not care about being the best player? Do you not care about being your best? If I had this glaring hole that I knew it would eat me alive until I figured it out. So I just question the mentality of those guys, honestly. Like, where is your pride? Where's your desire to be the best? Because there's just no excuse for those two guys being that talented, that good, and not being able to make a jump shot. It's absolutely pathetic.
Exactly. So to recap the next game, we had the Clippers versus the Jazz, my guys. It was another game that was all over the place. I know the Jazz had a double-digit lead, almost 20 points. Clippers come storming back. Obviously, they kind of had a huge third quarter. In the fourth quarter, even though they came back, your boy, Paul George, I was watching. I was like, we need him. So he had that three. It was a three. I was like, all right, I know Kyle's shoot for him to hit that three. He missed it. Then he, you know what I'm saying, got fouled or whatever, went a couple and one. So another bad, I don't know what's up with Paul George. I really don't. Another terrible night, but guess what? He mustered up those points. And then, about 24 points, Kyle. So got my guy over what he ended up getting. He ended up getting 27. So still, grabbed 10 rebounds. Almost had a triple-double. I was thinking in the first quarter, Paul George might go for a little triple-double here, but he didn't have too bad of a game. It was just bad. 8 of 18, man. Not necessarily well. It kind of came on late. Yeah. I can't wait for game 3, my guys. I must say. BlackJack, what you think about that Clippers versus Jazz game, my guy?
I don't expect the Clippers to quit, right? Like, they're not that kind of team. I don't expect them to quit. But again, what more are you going to get from Paul George in this series than 27, right? Like, you can't ask for more. They had 3 players in double figures compared to 5 for Utah. I mean, Donovan Mitchell goes off for 39 again. Like, I mean, they're not going to beat this team. They're just not. Like, they're in over their heads here.
Yeah, I agree.
Got you. Yeah, we'll see what happens game 3, BlackJack. It ain't over, Kyle. If they win the next 2 games, hold on the series.
I will tell you, when Paul George missed that 3, I had a finely rolled happy lettuce souvenir, if you will, that flew straight into the television screen. Just get the out of here. And I was like, that's it. But apparently we talked just enough shit about Paul George just to get him over that hump, make us look smart. So I appreciate Paul George. So I'm going to be a little bit nicer to him today, even though I agree with BlackJack. I don't think they have any chance in that series. I just think they're too mentally soft. I will say they showed a little more toughness than I thought, because they were getting blitzed. It was 74-55, something like that. And early in the third quarter, it was like, this is going to get really, really ugly. They did battle back. They made it interesting. I believe tied the game there late in the fourth. Even took a 2-point lead, right? Didn't they take a 2-point lead late in that game? And then it was either tied or a 2-point lead. And then, I don't know, I was busy on that lettuce, pacing, screaming at Paul George. And then, it all came to fruition. So not a big surprise. Utah did what we expected them to do. And, it's up to the Clippers, game 3. What do you got?
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about that. I wish we could go there one first. First, we're going to talk about the games that's happened today, my God. Like I said, we are combining Fridays and Saturday show. It's only one game tomorrow. It'll be really tough for us to go in here and just talk about one game, my guys. So we're going to try and enjoy our Saturday. But first game up today, 76ers versus the Hawks, guys. Line open up at 2.5 for the Sixers, down to -1 now. A lot of Hawks money coming in. A lot of people throwing out trends like 76ers 0-6 last 6 in Atlanta. Obviously, those were different teams, different coaches as well, BlackJack. What we thinking about this team today? Total of 224.5 as well.
I like the Sixers here a lot. This is a short line. I think the Sixers are clearly the better team here. I don't think Atlanta's got an answer for Embiid. As long as Embiid's in the lineup, I'm taking Philly in every game in this series. That's the bottom line, right? Atlanta can't win if Embiid is there and he's right. So I'm going to go with the Sixers here. I think potentially the clock could be striking midnight on this Hawks team, right? Like, I think it's a nice little run they've had, but they're out of their depth here. This could be a Smack City spot.
Oh, Smack City. Kyle, what are we looking at? We got the Sixers laying a short number, -1 on the road. Do you think that the Hawks will get it done at the house? You think they come out early, or what do you think the 76ers try and take back home court advantage today?
This one is tough for me. I agree. I think the Sixers should win, and anytime you're getting a team like the Sixers with that short of a line, you're a fool not to take it. I will say there is the risk. Obviously, Embiid's knee. We know it's a problem. All it's going to take is one weird land, one little thing. He's out of the game, and that offense is completely dead. Once it's Tobias Harris and all the rest, and the half, especially in the half court. So there is always that risk. But I do like the Sixers here. I do think they get it done. I will say Atlanta was a pretty good home team, 25-11 at home this year. One of the better home teams in the Eastern Conference behind just Philly, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee in terms of home record. So Atlanta's good at home. They're going to be fired up. It's a young team, excited fan base. I get all of that. There's certainly risks here. But for me, it's just too difficult to go against the Sixers when it's essentially a pick 'em against a team that they're better than, assuming Embiid plays a whole game. At Sixers for me. And I actually, in this game, the bet I like the best is the over. I mean, we're talking game 2 was game 1, 252 points. Game 2, I mean, 224. I think both these teams get there. I think the Sixers are going to have to score to beat Atlanta because you're going to have those complementary players, the Huters, the Bogdanoviches, the Gallinari shooting a little bit better at home. Sixers are going to have to beat them points-wise. I assume they can do that. So I'll take the over in this game. I feel better about that. And I'll lean the Sixers. Real quick, a couple of props. There's not a bunch of great props in this one. I do like the Kevin Huter over 11.5 points. He's not starting it. For some reason, they feel like starting Solomon Hill and watching him wet the bed for 8 minutes is a good idea. I'll never understand that. It's just the most bizarre thing. Like, just get him the hell out of the rotation. But after that, it's going to be a tight rotation. You're going to see Huter off the bench, Gallinari off the bench, and like 15 minutes of Lou Williams. So I think Huter at home should shoot better. I don't mind that over 11.5 points, and also the over 17.5 for him at -120 points, rebounds, and assists.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not a bad look. I also I like that points, rebounds, assists, my guy, because he kind of does a little bit of everything for them as well, my guy. So yeah, I couldn't talk anybody off Philly here. I know a lot of people on the Hawks. I know this line is coming down as well. They kind of playing with us once again and be questionable. So I mean, they're going to do that pretty much every game. Oh, he's questionable in the game. They know if he's playing or not. He should play. Obviously, the first couple games, hell, they didn't really like he was injured to me. But with the Sixers, the series tied 1-1. I think they come in here and bring the momentum from the last game into this one. I like the Sixers in this one, my guys. To do, like I say, you could possibly get a better number if the Hawks do come out hot at the house. This line of -1. Whatever team takes a 4 or 5 point lead, you can probably get +110, +115 for the other side in game. So this is one that I'll likely wait in game, see if I can get on either side some plus money, maybe a +5 or something like that. But just wait on either team, go for a run. You might be able to get both of them at plus money and come out on top regardless. But like the Sixers in this one, I do think they'll get it done full game. Sixers -1 is the way I would be looking in this one, my guys. They have to hang their head on their defense. You saw game 1. They had played a terrible game, couldn't really get anything to go their way, still barely lost the game by 4 points and had a chance to win. And then you saw in game 2, when they come out from the get-go, what happens. If their bench can play a better first half, I think this could be another Smack City spot, like my guy BlackJack says. Milton, you're going to have to bring the momentum from second half of last game. You definitely going to need guys like Korkmaz to step up for you guys in this one. So I think the Sixers are a better defensive team. You have to lean on your defense here. Depends on how the game is reffed as well. If Trae Young's getting those little bullshit calls, obviously that heavily favors the Hawks. If he's not, and they're letting the Sixers play defense get them, it won't be pretty, my guys. Heavily in the Sixers for me, my guys. Next game up, Suns versus Nuggets. Kyle, what you think is we got the Suns here as an underdog. They were laying 6 last game. Now we got the Nuggets laying -1.5. Basically a 7.5 point line flip here. Nuggets backs against the wall. Kyle, what you think in this one? Is it going to be a sweep for the Suns?
Man, when you watch those first 2 games, did you see anything that made you think that the Nuggets have the talent to keep up with this team? It's nice that Will Barton came back and he looked all right, took 8 shots, played about 16 minutes, and they're going to need everything out of Will Barton. That's the 3-wood off the fairway. They need all 280 yards. They got to hit it like a man. And there's jokes for that. But no, I just don't see it. And so I'm getting the Suns at +155 on the money line. The Suns are a better team. I'm sorry. Look, conventional wisdom, down 2-0. We talked about the trend yesterday. What was it, 60% winning percentage over the last 50 games for a team down 0-2 at home in Game 3. I love betting Denver at home, especially when it's a short line. It's one of my favorite things to do. But the bottom line is Facundo Campazzo and Austin Baby Boy Rivers cannot deal with that backcourt. And yes, Jokic is spectacular, but DeAndre Ayton's a big body, he's an athletic dude, and he is giving him trouble. I don't care what anyone says, and Jokic can't beat this team by himself. So I'm on this Suns money line at +155. To me, they're just a night and day better team. Unless Chris Paul absolutely craps the bed tonight or Devin Booker, I just don't see enough firepower in this Nuggets lineup to do anything against Phoenix. So a plus 155 money line, too short for me. I understand the risk. I understand the trends. I understand it's in Denver. It's a tough place to play. Chris Paul looks determined to make it to his first NBA Finals. His team looks good. I love when we're looking at a couple of props, I will take one Denver player. Michael Porter over 17.5 points. Look, if Denver wants to not get blown out again, he's got to do something. He's got to be their number 2 scorer. Yeah. I know that back's bothering him a little bit, but this is at home. I expect him to shoot better. He's certainly their clear-cut number 2 option on offense. So Michael Porter over 17.5 points makes quite a bit of sense to me. And I'm going right back to this Chris Paul points, rebounds, and assists. They still have it too low. It's at 30.5. This guy's dishing out 15 assists a game in this. So what? He needs a few points and a few rebounds? Over 30.5 minus 114. Give me that Chris Paul prop as well.
Zach, you saw they shaded up a little bit from that last game. So what, you saying you're taking full game money line, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm taking full game money line. Suns to get it done, plus 155. I don't have to get cute. I don't got to get creative. I don't got to look for value. It's right there on the money line, and I expect the Suns to win.
Got you. BlackJack, how you looking at this one, my guy? Another Smack City spot for your squad?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I'm taking the same bet. I'm taking Phoenix on the money line. I think it's crazy. Like you said, 7.5 point swing when Phoenix has won the first 2 games by a combined 42 points. Yeah. 42. Like these games haven't been close. I don't understand the flip. I get, like you said, Kyle, I get the fact that it's game 3, their backs are against the wall, and you expect teams to come out with more here. But at the end of the day, there's just not enough offense. Like, you know, Michael Porter Jr.'s got a back problem now, which is the problem that caused him to go from being a number 1 overall pick to sliding to Denver in the first place when he was at Missouri. And now, you know, like you said, you're relying on Will Barton here to come out after being out and put up huge numbers. They just can't match up with this team. I mean, I think that you're really reaching to say that Denver can win a game here. Like they are completely overmatched, particularly in the backcourt. I mean, you've got Campazzo and Austin Rivers against Chris Paul and Devin Booker. I mean, do we need to go further than that? Like, do we need to go any further than that?
Yeah.
And the Phoenix certainly has the edge in depth. They're a deeper team. They've got better bench play. They've got 5 or 6 guys that can go for double digits on any given night. And Denver's got 2. I mean, it's just not – there's nothing there. There's no logical reason to bet the Nuggets unless you are just betting purely based on trends. And I would suggest that's throwing your money away in this game.
Gotcha. No, I like the Nuggets here. I like the Nuggets early in this one. I do like them first quarter, first half. I didn't take the first quarter, but I did get on their first half yesterday, minus 1.5. I do like when teams have their backs against the wall. I don't think it'll be so easy for the Suns. A lot of people saw games 1 and game 2 and just saying, oh, it's going to be a sweep. I don't think it's going to be that simple. I do think that the Nuggets will get one in this one as well. If they're going to win a game, it will likely be today. Obviously, they are overmatched. The thing is, the Suns play really good team defense. So the Nuggets can play some defense as well. So I must say, I think that the Blazers' offense was a lot more potent than the Suns' offense. If you can stop them and pretty put them in a grindhouse type of game, I think they could do the same thing here. You have to try and slow the game down, make it and lean on your defense here. The Nuggets still have a really good defense. Obviously, you have Campazzo and Rivers out there, so you're gonna have to hold Paul and Booker, but it's late. Chris Paul really likes to take over late in the game, guys. So I'm not saying that the Suns won't win this game. I actually lean Suns full game as well, but I do think the Nuggets will come out here hot. I think if you like the Suns, you can likely get a better number first quarter. The Nuggets will come out with something. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to cover the first quarter or the first half, but I definitely think they're the first team to get to 20. They will come out with something here. These guys aren't soft. They are professional NBA players. The Suns aren't the fucking 2017 Warrior, 2015 Warriors over here. So they are a good team, guys. They are. I won't, you know what I'm saying, shade it. But the Nuggets do have their backs against the wall. They do have the MVP in Jokic. They do have playoff experience as well. And obviously, Chris Paul is the main guy over there that has the playoff experience. I know he's like a coach out there, but I do like the Nuggets early in this one. And if you like the Suns and you can in game, I just maybe say look for them first quarter, first half. That's when you'll get it. You might be able to get a really good number with the Suns in there. Nuggets will come out with something. That's the only thing I'm saying. They're not coming out getting their ass handed.
On the Nuggets first half. Like I think you're right. I think Denver comes out the same way Milwaukee did last night. I think they come out of the gate hot. Yeah. And the question is, can they sustain it for the full game? Like I wouldn't have any problem going Nuggets first half, Phoenix full game.
Yeah, Nuggets first quarter makes sense too.
You get a plus 500 with it, if I'm not mistaken, like a halftime, full time.
Yeah. If you're betting the Nuggets, the best way to do it, don't mess with the full game because they could fade out. And
Exactly.
they're playing a tight rotate. They're running Jokic. Jokic is gonna gas out eventually, but that first quarter could be all Nuggets. You might be betting the Suns, and I'm sure my ats on Twitter and my DMs would be like, "You idiot, you took the Suns," and I'll say, "Just wait till the fourth quarter." But that first quarter, I will not be surprised if the Nuggets win the
And
fourth.
it's just me necessarily focusing in on the window where I think if they're going to, like I always tell guys, it's not guaranteed. Like even with the trends, it's not mean it's going to happen every time the team with the backs against the wall. It's just I do think they will come out with something. I do feel comfortable. I don't mind putting, you know what I'm saying, the unit or half unit on the first half full game or the first quarter and first half, my guys. I do think they'll come out with something. I don't think that this team is terrible. Obviously, they're down some of their best guards. They did get one of them back in Barden, and in game one of this series, they did have the lead at the end of the first quarter and in the first half and in Phoenix. So now you're down 0-2. You just got your ass kicked a couple of times. The coach calling you off like he always does. I do think they will show something. Obviously, their season's on the line. You're at the house. I think they show something here in their home crowd behind them in the first quarter, first half, my guys. So I did, and it's so crazy. You see the Nuggets full game line -1.5. The first half it's been bet up to 2.5. I did get in on a 1.5, but I think that first half is the sharpest play for the Nuggets here. And like you say, you saw the Bucks come out hot. They literally got their ass blown out by 30 to 40 points both games, game one and game two. And you see them come out with something after nobody thought that they had anything left in the tank and couldn't hang on the same court with the Nets, guys. So I always say recency bias can sometimes really come and take us over. And these are NBA professionals. It's just a spot that I'm honing in, my guys. I like the Nuggets early in this one. I may make a play on the Suns live on the money line, but I must say I think that the Nuggets may get one of these games in this series, my guy. Let's get to the next game. So that's it for today for Friday's game, but let's go ahead and talk about this Saturday game, my guys. We have the Jazz versus the Clippers here, and I'll be honest, man. See what happens here with the Clippers if they can bring that momentum from the second half, because like you say, they could have easily quit BlackJack. The Clippers could have and just like, all right, we're down. We know any game a loss for 1 point or 2 or 20 points, it doesn't really make a difference, right? BlackJack, how are we looking at this Jazz versus Clippers team spot?
I think the fact that the Clippers are favored by 4.5 is an absolute joke. I think that if you listen, I don't think this Clippers team is going to quit. That's not their makeup, right? Like, I don't expect them to lay over and die, but I also don't expect them to win. Like, I just don't. I believe the Utah Jazz are the best team in the NBA. I think they are the most complete top to bottom team in the NBA. They can shoot. They can defend. They do everything well. They have a superstar. And let's keep in mind here, they have won these 2 games without Mike Conley, okay? He has not been on the floor. They're going to get better as this series goes on. The Clippers have had golden opportunities to win either game in Utah, and they squandered both. Utah went 0 for 20 in the first game during a spell, and they still won the game. Last night, the Clippers put themselves in a hole. They fight back. They take a lead late by 2 and still wind up losing by 6. They can't do much more, right? Like, I don't see what more this team can do. Playing in LA does not, I don't think it matters to this Utah team. And the thing I love about this team, Jay, is, and we talked about this, back in January and February, this Utah team has a killer instinct to them. They will step on your throat. When they have you down, they don't let you up off the mat. They did it in regular season games, right? Like when most teams up by huge numbers in the fourth quarter, they're taking their foot off the gas. Utah doesn't do that. I don't expect them to do it in this series at all. Donovan Mitchell has been everything you could ask for. I just don't think the Clippers have enough firepower. I don't think they have it. I'm taking Utah on the money line here. I think the Jazz win this game. I think it's a sweep.
Gotcha. A couple of sweeps from my guy BlackJack. I think we'll get Suns versus Jazz. It's gonna be a really good Western Conference Finals. But the series aren't over. We definitely can't talk like they're over, my guys. Because like I always say, the Clippers can come back and win both games, and it's literally a whole new series, guys. So I think people kind of forget that when teams get down 0-2, it is really tough to come back, but it's not insurmountable. Kyle, what you think about this game? This pivotal game 3, Clippers and Jazz, my guy.
Okay, so this is tough, and I agree with everything BlackJack says. I like Utah in this series, obviously. I trust my ex-wife in a strip club more than I trust the Clippers as 4.5-point favorites. Okay. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to trust this team? Favored by 4.5? Look, minus 195 on the money line? Like, no. No, 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 no. That is bad. I would rather buy her a winning lottery ticket than bet minus 195 on the Clippers against any team. I actually did that once. It was Christmas time, just not to get off on a tangent, but it was Christmas time. We're doing the shared parenting thing, and I'm feeling nice that day. So I give her and like her new boyfriend and all their people, I buy these little $1 scratchers. I didn't sleep for 2 damn nights because all I thought was, oh my God, what if I gave that bitch the winning lottery ticket? I finally had to call her out of character and be like, please tell me you didn't win the lottery, because I just couldn't live with myself. That would happen either way. Anyways, I digress. No, I'm taking the Jazz money line here as well. Now, listen, conventional wisdom will say this Clippers team is certainly talented enough to win a game 3 with their proverbial back against the wall. I don't think you're crazy for taking the Clippers, but I can't lay 5 points on the Clippers. If Mike Conley comes back, who was helping? Who was really the main catalyst keeping the Clippers close last night? It was Reggie Jackson, right? Reggie Jackson showed up, played really, really well. Mike Conley is one of the best defensive point guards, not just still playing in the game, but of all time. Mike Conley will absolutely chew up and spit out Reggie Jackson. So you better hope Paul George and Kawhi can go for more than 30 apiece, because you have absolutely nothing else on that roster. Who knew the loss of Serge Ibaka would be so bad for this team? I got to take the value. The value for me, if you want to take the Jazz to cover the 4.5, that's fine. I think they win the game. I think they go up 3. I'll take them plus 165 on the money line.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good point by you guys as well. See if Conley comes back. Obviously, he set out the first couple games. We're being questioned. He was questionable last game. Be interesting to see if he comes back here, guys. Sometimes we've seen Conley come back into the rotation and really throw things off. I'll be honest, a couple things I was looking at last night. A couple of players kind of got a little banged up. Donovan Mitchell and Bogdanovich kind of, you know what I'm saying? Look, with just one day off there, I do think it could just to let some people know. It's something I really noticed in that game. Donovan Mitchell late. It was late in the fourth quarter. I was interested to see him come back. He did kind of hurt his hamstring. Maybe not hurt, but may not be 100%. Bogdanovich injured his ankle as well. May not be 100%. But no, in all honesty, we'll be interested to see if Conley comes back. Sometimes he does mess up their flow or whatever. But like I say, man, I'd be on Clippers first half. I hadn't taken those yet. This is the unfair one right here. They're 4.5 on the game, and they're literally grading up. The books know that that trend really does hit it. I mean, it's not even a trend at this point. Your back's against the wall. It's just basketball, man. You have to come out with something. They're 3.5 for the first half, guys. So I absolutely hate it. They are bumping it up some, but I think in good reason. And when I'm watching the game last night, I say the Clippers are gonna come out hot at the house in game 3. They kind of figured some shit out there in the second half. Not even say just in the second half, but when they really play defense and play hard, obviously they come to play. And Paul George is being aggressive. I say Paul George may have a big game next game. He started to feel it there in the fourth quarter. Just from what I'm watching, a couple of players kind of got banged up for the Jazz. The Clippers start to feel themselves. Kawhi didn't really have a good game at all, in my opinion. And I'm starting to see some. Reggie Jackson, it's not just a few games where he'll play. Maybe he is their third best scorer. Maybe it's something up to that. Literally, like I know we say Reggie Jackson, but the guy was fucking balling last night. He was. I know it's not good. It's not good, but when he's hitting shots, so put it like this: we've all watched the game like, no, don't take this shot, don't take this shot. Then he make it like, you know what? Good shot, man. Good shot. It happens sometimes, obviously, when you're going for that team. But I hadn't made anything official on this, but yeah, I would be on Clippers here early, and I go as far as I think the Clippers cover the game as well. I think they'll win it by double digits. We saw the Jazz. Now, if there's any time to fade the Jazz, BlackJack knows this. It's on the road where they don't necessarily play as well. At the house, they're supposed to win first 2 games, in my opinion. I don't think this will be a quick series. If anything, the Suns one could be. In all honesty, they could sweep the Nuggets. Obviously, the Nuggets are missing 3 of their biggest guards. Well, 2 now, PJ Dozier and Jamal Murray. It would be a lot different series if they had those in there. You got full squad versus full squad basically here. Obviously, no Ibaka, but I think this series will go at least 6 games. I think the Clippers had a chance to steal game 1, game 2, and Utah coming off a long series, game 7 series. Now you're back at the house, must-win spot, backs against the wall. This is one that, I would take the Clippers in the full game. It opened up at 4. It's up to 4.5. -4.5. Obviously, it's room for them to win and not cover, but I think this is Clippers game for the taking. I'm leaning them early and often. Could be a trifecta spot for the Clippers here, and nobody likes it. No one likes it.
I like the balls. I love it. I like the balls.
I like that you have taken your grapefruits and just laid them on the table.
That's right? What I like too.
I like that.
And I always tell people they don't have to follow me. It's just the way I'm looking at the game.
I love it. No, you're not wrong.
For me, it's more of a bet against Paul George than anything else. I can make an argument that Paul George is the worst playoff player in modern history in the NBA.
Yes.
And here's the statistic that backs it up. Of players who have played at least 15 playoff games in their career, Paul George has the third most games all time shooting under 25%. Mm-hmm. And the first two guys are Bob Cousy and Tommy Heinsohn. So in the modern era, Paul George is the worst playoff player of all time.
Wow.
Yeah, hey, he still went for 27 and 29 in the first two games, even with a terrible shooting game.
You know
so
what that means, OJ?
I always like Ingles owns Paul George. I'll tell you that right now. Like I don't know why y'all trying to avoid people and not avoid the Lakers. You should be trying to avoid Joe Ingles because he absolutely owns you. But I must say it'll be interesting if the Jazz can take this on the road. If there's any phase spot for the Jazz, it is on the road. They do kind of play a different team. This is a high volume 3-point shooting team. If they're not hitting threes, the Jazz will get blown out in this game. If they're hitting threes, they're live to win every single game. But in this game, in my opinion, is all about Clippers defense and 3-point defense as well. So, like I say, heavy lean the Clippers for me. I hadn't got there yet, but I think the Clippers going to cash the trifecta spot tomorrow. I think they're going to start out early. I think they're going to win the game by double digits. And I think they'll win game 3 and game 4, and it'll be a whole new series, in my opinion. I'll go that far. I really do think so, my guys. We can't forget that they're coming off a game series, tough series versus the Mavs. I think they can hang with the Jazz. And I'll go back as far as off the bench without Conley. Jordan Clarkson is your bench. After that, you don't really have a scoring bench, but it's kind of even because the Clippers don't have a bench really either, especially without Ibaka out. But I still would be. Clippers are nothing for me in this one. And you guys know that first quarter, first half is a really strong spot for the Clippers with their backs against the wall. I do believe they'll come out with some fire, intensity, and sense of urgency, my guy. BlackJack, we about to get up out of here, man. Break them off with your officials.
Sixers -1.5. Suns money line. Jazz money line.
Oh.
Got you. What you liking, Kyle? What's them plays?
I'm going to take the over in the Sixers Hawks. I'm going to take that Suns money line. Michael Porter over 17.5 points. Kevin Huerter over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And in that Clippers Jazz game, you guys both got me scared now. I like the Jazz, but Jay's right about the Clippers. So nothing official on that game. There's no props out for it yet, but I would be looking at some of those tertiary players for the Clippers at home where they could shoot a little bit better. So keep an eye on guys like Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, if they don't balloon it up, guys like that. If they keep Paul George's points under 25, I'll still keep an eye on that because he's going to have the volume. He's not going to be efficient, but he'll have the volume. So that'd be something I keep an eye on when the props do come out for that game.
Yeah, call me crazy. And I like how we're trashing Paul George. I think he goes off next game. It's just something that I saw in the second half. He really started to be aggressive, started to get into the paint, try to get foul calls. Literally, like Kyle's prop cast in the fourth quarter for Paul George. And they could have given up as well. Know what they do? Yeah. They're trying to find what works for game 3. This is a series. It's a 7-game series. Even though they lost the game, they still had to go and find something. I really do think they did. And I think that the Clippers will come out hot in this game 3. Also, just Bogdanovich and Mitchell may not be 100%. And another thing, just that one day off could really, if it was 2 days off, they have time to heal up ankle and hamstring. It's going to be really tough. I don't think those guys will be 100%. I think the Clippers take advantage of it. They kind of start to go with Mitchell and Bogdanovich yesterday. They noticed. And Conley could come back, and I think that'll only mess things up for the Jazz right now. But they don't necessarily play the same on the road. I'm pretty sure I'll be on the Clippers tomorrow. For today, I did get on Nuggets first half, -1.5. It is up to 2.5. Heavy lean the Nuggets first quarter as well. I understand nobody likes it, but it's what I'm on. You guys don't have to follow me. Like the Sixers as well in that one full game. I think they're going to take back hold of this series and go up 2-1. You got to still back home court advantage. They are the better defensive team here, my guy. But their bench better come to play in this one. Milton, Korkmaz, you guys you're gonna have to do something with this one, my guys. But we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Obviously, we combined the Friday and Saturday shows. Hey, if you missed the Saturday picks, go back and rewatch it, man. We got the Saturday plays up too, man. That's my guy Kyle Purviance, aka DFS Bachelor on Twitter. That's my guy BlackJack Fletcher. Go and follow him on Twitter as well, BlackJack Fletcher. I know he got a couple different Twitter names, but that's Black
Just
Jizzle
search
right
for
there.
BlackJack. You'll
He's
find
got
it.
like 14 Twitter names, 37 things. Just type in black and you'll find
That's it.
BlackJack.
It'll pop
Just
up.
like that.
That's my guy. Yeah, no, there's only one BlackJack Fletcher. That's
That's
for
it.
sure,
That's
my
right.
guys. I'm your host, J Money is Money. Go and follow me on Twitter at J Money as well. At J Money is Money as well. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe. Go hit the website, my guys. We back on Monday.